step up to the fight, playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no curse. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Does a dire bear shit in a dire woods? Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassie. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novel Skyfarer and Dragon Road can be found from Angry Robot Books and everywhere books are sold. And I am the author of such non-existent titles as Those Dice Are My Balls, Please Don't Roll Them.
God, sometimes I hate going after those. Anyway, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play Silas Kane, who is most assuredly not the Arrow of the Gods as well. Whole different player. In real life, I write several things, including Bill of the Dead, Tome of Bill, False Icons, and Hybrid of High Moon. I'm probably the only Rick Gualtieri out there, so search for me. Chances are it's my stuff.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevin. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. I also write many of the titles in our Shingles series. Go check those out.
Hi there, I'm Steve Wetherill, and I play Brandon Fymaster, monk, hero, geologist. In real life, I write the Doomsayer Journeys with Falstaff books, and other books such as, let's say, Shoot the Dead. Go check them out online.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, author of books such as Superpowers, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and Spells, Swords, and Stealth, what you might know as the NPCs series, which had its most recent entry, Noble Roots, which is number 5, come out within the last few weeks. Hence why I am still plugging it enthusiastically. In other capacities, I am the dungeon master of this rolling band of, well, crab-fighting madmen. And when last we left, they had battled hordes of flying fish monsters, really juiced up crabs, and stolen some gems from inside rocks. And when we pick up now, they are in a dark cave.
AKA your mom.
It's dark in here!
Okay, everybody should be seeing something now because Brandon is emitting light from his dick light.
Brandon, with your dick so bright, won't you light our way tonight?
All right, so y'all have been traversing some well-lit caverns so far, but as you enter this new, more narrowed-out section, that comes to an end. And those of you with night vision are seeing within those parameters. Those of you who are utilizing lights, such as Brandon, who has the, let's say, front-facing lower crotch light.
Sounds quite technical when you put it like that.
Is emitting light that anyone can see. So, but you are limited, of course, to wherever he is pointing his penis light.
And it is clap activated, like over 50% of the crotches on this team.
The real kick in the teeth is that the most obvious name for what Brandon's doing is already well established in use by another company. Like, Fleshlight would work, but I just don't think we can pull that one off.
Ouch.
Let's not try.
We prefer to call it manhood illumination.
I believe Fandango already had the bucket wedged on his head, and that is now still true. So, why doesn't we, good lord, we're writers. Why don't we have everyone who isn't stuck with a bucket on their head roll initiative?
All right, Silas rolls an 18.
Klaus rolls a 20. Unnatural.
Bjorg rolls a 14.
Brandon Vymaster rolls a natural 1.
Oof. The initiative monster is going to eat you then.
That happens to me every day, Drew.
Oh god, did it just get too real? So Klaus, that means you are first up. You are in a narrow, set of tunnely area where you have very limited sight.
Actually, I've got pretty decent sight, but I want more sight before I go traipsing down these dark corridors. I'm looking for something. Ooh, got it. All right, I've got an old pot from Fish People. I am going to cast light upon it and chuck it stealthily down the corridor there.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
Master of stealth.
And if it sets off any traps, bonus.
Click on the map where you want the pan to go.
Oh, all right. I see that there's like actual wall in front of me in Bjorg, so I guess I'm gonna have to step out 1, 2, 3 spaces here, and I would like to throw the pan as far as I can northward.
Okay, roll me a ranged attack.
For 16.
Well, it's heavy, but you're not really trying to throw it that far, so we'll say you get it right about there-ish. And I think it should be emitting light now.
It's not.
Yeah.
You just had to cast a different light spell. You couldn't be happy with night vision.
You had to help the party.
I was thinking of my fellow players, yeah, so that they could go ahead of me.
So you have thrown your pan, and that is, we're going to say that's your action. You do have movement left if you would care to use it.
I would not.
All right. Silas Kane.
So Fandango has a bucket on his head, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's a nice thick bucket.
As it's the same bucket that many of you have worn, you are intimately familiar with its density.
Okay. So technically, since it's a nice thick bucket made of wood, if I were to pour lamp oil on it and set it on fire and kind of make him into a walking torch.
Oh, it's definitely a metal bucket.
Oh,
Have we not been very clear about this? The
You
abuse
also
this thing has
roast his
suffered?
head.
Unquestionably metal.
Okay, fine. I guess I won't set fire to his head.
Y'all would have shattered this thing forever ago.
All right. So instead, I will head up toward where Klaus threw his pan.
Old pot from Fish People.
And anyone who wants to move the pan may, with their turn and character and stuff, but y'all have access to that token.
With my blessing.
All right. So do I see anything interesting here?
Do you want to roll a perception?
Sure. Silas gets a 6, so I'll assume that means no.
You are just like, well, it's not under 5. You hear like a distant, like a general sort of rumbling of overland noise, kind of like the waterfall that y'all just left. In fact, you probably think it's the waterfall that y'all just left. But I mean, otherwise, you're just looking at a pan.
Well done, Columbo.
All right.
All right. Bjornsson.
Bjorg is going to follow Silas. Just walk into the open space up here next to the pan and percept.
Okay.
And that is an 11.
All right. Bjorg, you look around, you notice that there are a bunch of sort of rocks embedded in the walls, just like all the other caverns you've seen. Some are gems. You do notice that these appear to be more kind of like broken off collectively. I realize the map has them showing, but, I only have so many. So we're just going to say those are in the ground or cracked off. Because basically what you're seeing is mostly like smooth tunnel. And you definitely hear like a loud noise. Like you're not sure if it's the waterfall behind or one ahead, but like there's definitely like a kind of constant low rumble going.
There's noise. It's loud.
And Brandon Thighmaster.
Loud noise and not much else. I'll just wander obliviously into this. I see a tunnel to my right. I may as well take a closer look. I'm sure nothing terrible will happen. Otherwise our rogue would have spotted something. He's smart.
Well then. I can't believe... Alright, well, it seems like we're at the end of initiative. But, on this map, something special happens at the end of initiative.
Oh dear.
Yay.
An unseen, up to this point, force manifests. And takes its move.
I hope it's Christmas presents again.
Those Christmas presents killed us.
Okay. Wow, y'all really just positioned yourself perfectly.
Perfectly.
All right, so this isn't the exact route it takes. It kind of spins up and down, but big-ass boulder flies down the tunnel, smashing as it goes. So
good.
At this point, let me go ahead and share a handout with everybody.
So you've been flattened by a boulder.
So, while you all look in your handout section and read it, I'm going to read the handout that kind of outlines how this room works. Rolling room. Oh shit, boulders. That sound means the rocks are rolling, and if you don't want to be squished, best keep an eye out for them. DC perception to see a boulder coming. From 1 turn away, meaning the next turn it's going to be coming for you, is a DC 15. From 2 turns away is a DC 20. Anyone without dark vision or equivalent access to light is going to be rolling at a disadvantage. The boulders hit for 4d8. They move through occupied squares, and they leave anyone in them who has been hit prone. The dodge DC is 22, simply because there is very little room to squeeze past these things.
Oh dear.
I think we should leave this room.
I think that's going to be difficult if I'm dead.
Okay, so I need reflex saves from Silas, Bjorg, and Brandon. And Silas, if you have any sort of bonuses that get added to people's thing, this would be an excellent time to let them know.
Well, Bjorg, you have +3 from me.
Okay.
Silas only gets a 17.
Bjorg gets a 18 with the +3.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 23 with the plus nothing.
Wow. So, okay, Brandon Thighmaster, with your incredible roguish, monkish. I went everywhere wrong first. With your incredible monkish dexterity, you flatten yourself against the wall. Like Brandon Thighmaster, as always, does not like to be touched. And so somehow manages to squish himself in a way that the boulder just grazes right past, leaving you unharmed. All right, and then, but Bjorg and Silas do not.
Guys, there's a boulder coming your way.
So 14 damage.
Okay.
That puts me at 0.
Balls.
But 0 as in like legitimate 0.
Legitimate 0.
Not like in the negative. So you are technically stable.
He's never been technically stable.
Damn it!
All right. Well, I didn't expect so many of you to advance immediately. That was kind of supposed to be an intro. Oh, as this boulder rolls out, it hits this you now notice a lot more triangular than it might look on the map. Big rock formation and shatters into debris. So you all are at the end point of this as the rocks roll through.
Brandon, Silas is down. Does anyone have a potion?
Technically, Silas is up. He's just
Oh.
barely. I mean,
Well, fortunately, Silas has a potion.
punch drunk is being generous.
I'm sure he's fine.
How funny would it be if, like, this is the version of Silas that's actually, like, mentally stable? Instead of being knocked out of it, he gets knocked into it.
My friends, it's all so clear suddenly. I've been a terrible person.
You're just realizing this now?
Actually, he doesn't sound fine. You should probably check Silas.
Well, Klaus, you illuminated the situation earlier.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place right here. For, I guess, boulder watching. However, we'll eventually starve to death. So, that's no good. Alright, I'm gonna move up 6 spaces just above Bjorg. Just to see what I see. And I would like to make a perception check.
Alrighty. So, just a quick sort of heads up. Sometimes we play a little fast and loose with perception to speed things along. In this case, action economy is very much a part of this map's challenge. So, every turn, you will, of course, have the option to do perception. It is going to count as a full action, and it will mean sacrificing your ability to do a double movement, except in cases like yours, Klaus, where you have the roguish ability, or Brandon's thing. Y'all have character powers that you can utilize, but I'm just sort of letting you know for this map that we're going to play a little strict on that, just because that's part of the challenge. But perception for you, sir. Go right ahead.
All right, so with my roguish powers, I can percept and move again. Should I choose to?
Well, remember, you can spend your free action to dash as opposed to... Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll percept and then make a decision of whether I'm going to move or not after.
Okay.
15.
Okay, with a 15, you are listening to the rumble. You are looking at the shadows on the tunnels. You're kind of like even feeling it in your feet. Like, this is not just vision. This is a full-on perception. And with a 15, you are able to determine that there is not a boulder within one turn of you. So you are not going to get hit at the end of this round by a boulder.
All right. Well, I mean, that's useful to know. I was, wondering anything. Yeah, whatever I could sense. But
oh yeah, no, it's that. I mean, that you got the lower one, but so 15 will get you the 1, and then 20 will get you the. You'll find out if there's one of you within 2 rounds.
Okay, cool. All clear, everyone. Somebody. I don't guess I can grab the pot on my way along. Huh? Done a lot of things.
Oh, the pan.
Yeah.
I just burn 5 feet of movement for it.
I don't want to burn 5 feet of movement. I want to move. All right, Bjorg, if you don't mind, that's a cool pot there. If you want to see. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moving a little bit past Brandon there.
Okay. As we move on to Silas, I should point out that the perception regarding like one within hitting you, that applies to where you were when you made the perception. So, Silas Kane.
Thank you, Klaus, my friend. I will pull out my my mystery snow potion, which I believe is a potion of greater healing. I believe, what is that, 48 plus 4?
Potion of healing. Greater healing is 44 plus 4.
Well, that's pretty sucky, 44.
They're all D4.
Huh. Oh well. I'll take 12 back, clear my head, look at Bjorg. It'll be like, Sinner! And then continue onward.
Alrighty. You have burned your action for the potion chug, so your turn will end with your movements. Bjorg Bjornsson.
Bjorg is going to pick up the pot lid and, I guess, bring up the rear.
Okie dokie.
All just lining up nicely.
I mean, it's a tunnel system. You kind of have to. That's part of the challenge.
Can I move past the others, or am I...
Yes, you standardly can move through friendly occupied squares.
Okay.
It's presumed that they will kind of turn aside and let you.
I'm going to move the full 40 and bring the light ahead.
Anybody notice that we're kind of missing Fandango, or...
He'll totter along, don't worry.
He's got exactly as much chance of surviving this as we have.
Yeah. I mean, he's wearing a helmet.
And he's hanging out in the safe space where the boulders are crashing. Maybe we could find a mechanism to stop that so that he can just walk safely through.
All right. So Bjorg, was that one movement or two?
That was one.
Okay. Did you want to do the perception?
Yeah, I will percept.
All right.
That is a 15 perception. I'm rolling a lot of 15s tonight.
I mean, that's not a bad thing to be rolling in this particular challenge. There is not a boulder within 1 round of you.
Okay. All right, we can keep going for now.
All right, Brandon.
Okay, let's stride confidently ahead then. I'll take a movement. I can't see anything. Is this a dead end?
Can you see now?
Yeah, I just turned around. It's not a dead end. Okay, that was one movement. I guess I'll take my other movement. All right, I've come to a fork in the road.
Now, key question here for you. Did you burn a key point for that, or have you committed to your action being used?
I'm out of key points last I checked.
Right.
So I'm just hoping that, I guess, I move into a space that won't be occupied by a boulder in the near future. but I assume everything's okay. I will shout that back through the corridor. I assume everything's okay.
It's my best guess.
All right. So that brings us to, once again, the end of initiative, when a whole lot of rumbling is occurring. So, Brandon, with your positioning, you are going to get to see a bit of a sight here. Boulder comes rolling down, rolling down, rolling down. Kind of smashes here and is kind of angled like it's going to be going in the same direction as the last one. Kind of looks like these all follow the same path. And in fact, you'll notice the little cave behind you is much rougher and not worn smooth. And in fact, so is that little one across the way from you.
Okay. I guess, do I have time to shout a warning at people?
Yes, I'm gonna give you the shout as you see the boulder. It's all, because it's all happening kind of at once. So as you see it smashing down, you would give them the yell of, oh god, hey guys.
Things are definitely not fine.
Technically, this is like where it reaches, I guess, at the end of initiative on the next round or so. So yeah, it all flows at once. But so, Brandon, you've called a warning, so there's a boulder coming, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Seems like the least I could do.
Any other information to add?
I am in a boulder-free area, if you can make it here. But
Okay.
I accept no responsibility for anything that may happen to you on the way to that area. I'm just presenting options.
Klaus,
All right.
you now know there is a boulder incoming.
But I also know, we're in like Boulder Alley here, and I'm going to need to get through here sooner or later. But if there's a boulder free area up there, I'm going to try to make it.
I mean, look, comparatively boulder-free.
All right. Oh, I see a glimpse of him, of Brandon. 6. Yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to there.
You might
What?
want to utilize that free action dash, because right now you're going to get pasted.
Come to the sound of my voice, not the sound of the boulder.
Oh no. I understand. I was just thinking, do I want to do a perception first, or no? I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah, I'm gonna go hang out behind him.
Okay. Klaus has used all of his movement, although seeing as he is a rogue, he does still technically have an action if there's anything he wanted to do.
Well, since I can percept, I will.
Go for it.
16.
Yeah. There is absolutely a boulder within 1 round hitting range of you. It's not going to. You can very clearly see the caverns where it's smooth versus where it's rough, like these little shelter areas. So, you're not going to, but man, yeah, absolutely is there a boulder right next to you.
Hey guys, boulders are coming.
All right.
He's not wrong.
Silas Kane, how lucky do you feel?
Lucky enough to get crushed by the ball sack of my god.
Wow.
He's like, oh god, would Silas just keep walking into the...
He's like the weirdest motivational speaker.
And
Dash.
here's the secret passage area.
That's about as far as I can go.
Okay, let's see. Bjorg,
Yes. So there's a boulder coming.
there is, according to your friends, there is a boulder coming.
All right, and there's nowhere up ahead visibly to me that I can hide.
Not within your line of sight. Everything looks smooth and bouldery.
I have indicated that there's a boulder-free area up here, but if you did not trust in that assertion, I wouldn't blame you.
I think I can make it to there.
I mean, you have barbarian speed, so if you dash, you can almost certainly reach either of those alcoves.
All right, Bjorg's gonna go there and bring the pot with him.
All right.
Done it.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Dare I try and squeeze past this boulder? Is that something I can do?
I mean, technically speaking.
I could just wait. But would that be cool? That'd be a cool thing to do. You know what? Sometimes not being crushed to death is cool.
But only sometimes.
Yeah, but not today. Alright, if I can, I'm going to run past this boulder. What do you reckon?
Give me an acrobatics just to make sure you don't do anything silly while dodging past a gigantic boulder.
That would be an excellent time not to do anything silly. Ooh, natural 20. I do the opposite of silly.
Okay, you very much. You not only don't do anything silly, you do some shtick. You put a pantomime top hat on the boulder.
That
and
sounds
falls over
extraordinarily silly.
An ottoman.
Yeah, this is more like this is the Ministry of Extremely Serious Walks going on right now.
Yeah, you flattened yourself into almost goo to avoid the first one. This one you just nimbly flow past.
Just do what I do, guys. It'll be fine.
Naturally.
Okay, that's one movement. And I'm going to keep on taking movement. I think keeping moving here is a good idea. But where does the boulder come from? Right, I've got 10 feet of movement left. I'm going to duck into this corner as much as I can. And wait to see how fate treats me.
All right. So, it is the end of the round. This is when the boulders go. So, you can all see the... well, except for Brandon, he's kind of moved out of visual line. But everyone else can see the boulder hit this ridge, smash off, and fly. I mean, really clip by Bjorg and Styles. In fact, both of you roll me dexterity saves.
Oh, you're close enough, Bjork, so you still get the +3.
That's a 9. 9 for Bjork.
23 for Silas.
Okay, Silas, you hold your footing. Bjorg, you are brushed back 5 feet by the speed and the force of the boulder. That's just how close y'all are as it races past.
Okay.
But you don't take any damage. It's just you get pushed back a little. It's like holy shit, that was really close. And boulder rolls on out of the map range. Smashes. Okay.
Boulder is Fandingo's problem now.
And with that, we return to Klaus.
Before I move, I would like to use my perception first to see if I can foresee the coming of another boulder.
Absolutely a wise idea. Go ahead and roll your perception.
Natural 1.
You are absolutely certain there is no boulder within 2 rounds of you.
All right, sweet. I'm going to make a mad dash as Brandon did.
Okay.
All right, guys, boulder free. Everybody run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and wow, I didn't make it quite as far as Brandon. Shit. But that's okay. I am confident that no boulders are ever coming again.
All right. Well, Silas Kane, that brings you up.
All right. Well, if I die, I know where I'm going, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to follow them, and then dash should bring me just about to Klaus.
Don't worry, pal. We're safe.
All right. Bjorg.
Gonna do a good chunk of movement here.
All right. Was that 1 movement or 2?
I think that was 1, but I lost track of squares. So if you want me to take 2 for it, I will.
Oh, there's no need. Klaus assures us that we're safe.
Sit down, friend. Rest a while.
If I have the space, then I will percept again. But if not, that's fine.
From what I can tell, it looks like you are at about 50.
Okay, that's just 10 feet more then.
Yeah, but it also means you have 30 more feet if you want to use it.
All right, yeah, let's do that. Let's go.
Okay. And that brings us to Brandon.
Okay, we're in a new place. You know what? Sometimes it's just good to wait and see where the boulder lands. It's excellent life advice. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to percept. So softly, look both ways. 17.
You are absolutely going to get hit by a boulder at the end of this round.
Nonsense.
How do I deduce that? Do I have a sense of foreboding doom? Can I sit?
It's the sound of the rumble. It's the feel of it under your feet. It's kind of the little bit of the shadows coming down the tunnel as your light is seeing something rolling. But that this is what your perception is sort of signifying, is your ability to put all that together and deduce where the next boulder is, kind of in relation to your body. And your body is absolutely not in a good relation. I guess 17's high enough. If you know where it's coming, then directionality, you know it's coming from this direction.
Okay.
The southwest.
Right. Do I have a movement?
Yeah, you've only used a perception. You've only used your action so far. You still have movement.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will say, "Oh shit," and move in the opposite direction, which is
All right, you're gonna have to show me exactly where you go on this one.
okay. Going up here.
Oh, look at that! A nice little safety alcove. If only y'all had looked around.
Yeah. This looks pretty safe, and as useless as it is right now, I'll go, "Hey guys, I think I found like a boulder-free area," but I could be wrong.
This whole place is a boulder-free area, friend.
Well, let's hope you're right. You're definitely not, but let's hope you're right.
And on that note, oh my God.
Did we line up perfectly again?
Oh, you always line up perfectly if you're not in the safety alcove. They're designed that way. But the kick in the teeth is that Brandon didn't tell y'all that there was a boulder coming, so technically y'all are all supposed to roll this at disadvantage.
I did shout, "Oh shit!" I assume in context people will realize.
All right, I'm gonna count the oh shit. I really don't want y'all to have to roll this hard of a save at disadvantage.
We've been a close team for a little while now. If I say "oh shit" and run in the opposite direction, there's context clues.
Brandon says "oh shit" and runs, like ducks out immediately. Yeah, you guys are aware that something's coming, so it's boulder time.
Perception?
No.
Dex save.
He'll perceive soon enough.
Dex save.
All right,
Yeah.
Klaus, you get a +3.
Bjorg rolls an 8.
Before I save, looking at the rolling room, there doesn't seem to be like a half damage thing, so does my evasion not count for this?
Oh, that's right. You have evasion. There's not a half damage thing for this one. It's kind of a you get smashed or you don't. But I will say, yeah, your evasion would at least give you half.
Okay.
Silas gets an 18.
So there's a dex save at +3.
Yep.
All right. Klaus does all right with a 26.
Klaus takes no damage. You made the save, sir.
Awesome.
All right. So Klaus ducks it entirely, whereas Bjorg and Silas both catch a boulder to the face for 16 damage.
I deserve this. I'm coming to you.
I told you there was no boulder.
All right, go to -4.
And I'm pretty sure Bjorg's out of potions.
Okay. Well, the good news is I saw all of that happen. So
You did. you ran into a safety cave and watched your friends get smashed into the ground. Klaus.
Looking to see if I got healing potions. We all got healing potions from the Christmas thing. I've got 7 healing potions, but those might have been from Gentronomes.
they most certainly are. But you do have one from the Christmas thing.
Okay.
As we've deduced before, giving Silas a Gentronome healing potion at this stage will not help him at all. He'll be the opposite of helpful. Funny, but not helpful.
It will lighten my load.
I don't want to hear about Klaus lightening his load while I'm helpless.
I would like to lighten my load into his mouth.
Oh no.
Well, I don't see it here, but if I've got a potion, I'll feed it to him.
Yeah, I don't remember you using your Christmas potion yet, so
Yeah, I don't either.
we'll go for it.
Forget I
Here, do you
have
want me to roll it? I've already got the screen pulled up.
Pour that rich eggnog down his throat.
So I've got the greater healing potion screen pulled up. Do you want me to hit it?
Yeah, hit it.
12.
All right.
So Silas, you're
All
at
right,
12.
so-
You don't look like Tor. Excuse me.
All right, so I still get a free action and a move.
Yes.
All right, I would like to percept before I do anything else.
Okay, roll me a perception.
That worked out well for me. 23.
You are not within 1 round of getting hit by a boulder. However, you are within 2 rounds of getting hit by a boulder.
Ooh.
So at the end of this initiative, you are not going to get hit at your current position. However, if you were staying there at the end of next time, then you would.
You're looking at Silas lying in a boulder track, squished, thinking, is this a safe place to be?
could be safe for me.
It is for at least one round.
No, if I had full movement, I'd go for it. But right now, I'm just gonna duck into the safety alcove and hang out with Brandon.
Okay. Silas Kane.
Yeah, I'll get up and I think I will join them in said safety alcove.
All right. Bjorg.
Okay. Yeah, Bjorg is gonna join in the safety alcove as well.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna grab the pod.
So all we have to do is stay here for the rest of our natural lives, and we'll be fine.
And y'all see Fandango wearing the bucket wander into the safety alcove.
Drew, I found that potion and deleted it from my inventory.
Excellent. All right. So, Brandon Thighmaster, that leaves you, our speedy little monk.
Okay, I
You
could
can make it.
dash off into oblivion again, or I could spend a turn dishing out some healing potions, seeing as we don't have a healer. Let's take 5, everybody. We've had a rough couple of minutes. We're in a safe space. I got 2 standard healing potions and a greater healing potion, so...
Well, what if we were to take a short rest here?
That's not a bad idea.
You mean a thing where you could spend some healing surges?
Yeah.
A thing y'all often forget about?
Yeah.
What an excellent idea, Silas.
Yeah, now's not the time to have like a really determined work ethic.
All right, so as a quick refresher for any of the listeners who might not be familiar with 5th edition mechanics, or perhaps any of our players, during a short...
For the listeners!
So during a short rest, players are able to spend healing die. They have 1 healing die per level, so I believe they are all 10th level characters, meaning they have 10 healing dies. Those healing dies are equal to their hit die. So, for example, as a druid, Gordon Skinflint has the access to 10 d8s. So during a short rest, he can roll as many of those as he would like. He regains that much life. They refresh you gain half your max back on a long rest. So you would, again, with Gordon as the example, he would gain 5 back per long rest. It very rarely comes up because they use them so infrequently that they're pretty much always at max capacity.
Now, Drew, again for the listeners, what does the short rest have? Say if the listeners are playing a monk with no key points, how many key points would they regenerate on a short rest?
So short rests are interesting. They don't always regenerate resources. Druids get their wild shapes back, whereas monks, I actually do think you get key points back on a short rest. Let me double check that real quick. Until you finish a short or long rest, you gain all key points back.
Nice.
You'll have to rest for at least 30 minutes for this all to go into effect. But again, you are in a safety alcove, so this is a good spot for it.
Dice.
All right.
Put on my hat of comfort.
All right. Remember, it is your character's, or whatever your class hit die is.
Do we have to call it first, or can we do one at a time?
Oh, you can just go. Yeah, you can just go one at a time. You can go until you get the amount back that you feel is adequate for the dice you've spent.
3.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, Bjork's back up to 90.
Back up to 90. How many hit points did you spend?
I spent 2.
Holy crap! Oh yeah, you weren't nearly as far down.
No, but I figured if we're gonna get pelted by boulders, I should just. It doesn't hurt to reinforce himself a bit.
Well, and it doesn't hurt to have that barbarian D12 hit die.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Oh, they also get their constitution bonuses to that. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me.
Oh, good, I've been adding that.
Make
Yeah, I'm
sure
going to spend 8
If-
to bring myself up to 70.
Well, my short rest brings me back up
Perfect.
to a respectable amount of hit points and full key powers, more importantly.
Yeah, short rests are really important for monks and druids.
Fighters too.
I think sorcerers might get sorcery points back. I can't remember.
All right, 55 points is good enough for me.
All right, so everyone has finished spending their healing surges.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, then we will reopen at the top of the initiative next time on Authors and Dragons, when we can get John back in and y'all can advance through this room together as a team. But don't worry, folks. As you know, we are not done yet. The game is only the first part of the episode. as we've been doing this, Joe's been running a live blog over at facebook.com/authorsanddragons and collecting your questions for this very moment, which we're going to put off for a little bit because, of course, the Discord questions get asked first. If you want to be in the front of the line, remember that you can join the Discord at patreon.com/authorsanddragons. All right, that's enough plugging and vamping. Rick, what are the people on the Discord dying to know?
Oh, we have a lot of good questions this week, but since we got smashed by boulders, we'll skip to one that kind of like that soothes our wounds nicely. Our friend Kaveld Bjorn asks or states 6 years of the main podcast, 2 spin-offs, 4 conventions, and a movie. Where would you like to see A&D go next?
Ooh.
Oh, good question.
Make money.
Yeah, I'd like to be doing the exact same thing, but from a nice little island somewhere. Not one of the fancy ones, just a nice little island.
I will say Legend of Vox Machina, awesome cartoon, but damn, I want to see a Chronicles of Calamity cartoon on on Netflix or HBO late at night when the kiddies can't watch it.
Rick, we're not too far apart. So earlier in the week, we were joking around on the A&D Discord about how if there was a horror anthology of Shingles, that Jorcerer would be our natural Crypt Keeper host, and now I kind of want to see that. I want a TV show, low quality Shingles horror anthology with Bob in a Jorcerer outfit as the host.
Every week it starts the same, him masturbating.
It starts and finishes the same.
No, it looks like he's masturbating, but he's always like churning butter or cleaning a remote or something.
Hello, friends.
That would actually be really brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, there are always directions we could be going in. Not should be, but could be.
God, I don't know. I mean, I I like the direction we're going right now, and I'm kind of excited to see where that puts us. I'm very much a fan of keeping our options open. Yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens after the movie.
I'd love to make a nice little indie game set in the Authors and Dragons universe. Final Fantasy VII, but terrible.
That would be great.
For some reason, I interpreted that not as set in the universe of the Authors and Dragons game, but set in like the universe of Being Us. And I was like,
God.
Oh man, that's a really weird idea, but I'd kind of be interested. I don't know.
Press X to stay at computer for yet another hour.
Would you like to pay your taxes?
Press Y to have another beer. Press B if really. Quick time event. Crush that can.
Press W to weep copiously for the rest of the day.
Oh man, yeah. They could even do like a really minor indie game and just have one of those locked room puzzles, but it's Bevin in his garage.
He's been there 6 hours. He hasn't tried to get out.
Would you like to crush another can?
Okay.
Yeah. As Homer Simpson once said in one of my favorite Simpsons quote, I could do a lot of things if I had some money.
This one is fun. If you could give a superpower to someone else that was more of an inconvenience than useful, it asks who would it be, but that might be personal. So let's say, what would that power be?
We could have one superpower.
So we're purposely trying to inconvenience them with the superpower, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Super strength. At worst, they're going to like explode everything they touch. And at best, assuming they live an average human life, what's that really good for? They have to help their friends move all the time.
Here's let me add something to that. Super strength without super durability.
So you just lift up a car and your spine explodes.
It's basically.
See, I think just having the super strength is burden enough. It's like, you're not fighting supervillains. You work in an office. I was going to make up a name, and then I was like, oh, wait, that's an actual friend of mine. I can't do that.
Sure you can.
I was going to say, if I could there's 2 different things I would curse someone with, and for entirely different reasons. One is flight without super durability, because you're going to pace yourself. Second is the ability to hear thoughts. I think that would be fucking awful.
I'll go with constant flatulence.
It's not a superpower.
I think I will make them continually levitate.
Oh, God.
So wait, does that mean canonically Bob is the one who gave Paul Rubens his power in Mystery Men?
That's what I was thinking of. So it is technically a superpower, Steve.
Well, I don't know.
And he's cursed with it.
That's
So
true,
Yeah,
I
did-
guess.
Did Bob do that?
Mystery Man is, probably the only superhero movie you've ever seen, so we'll take it.
No, I've seen a few with you guys.
Yeah, we've done a few of them for At the Movies that you can listen to on our Patreon feed.
And some others independently of you.
Well, I don't know how I feel about
No,
that.
I don't believe you. There's lots of awful superhero powers. Just read the X-Men. Most X-Men, they're either supermodels with powers that would be great, or horrible freaks who explode in a strong breeze or something.
I mean, the Morlocks are built around all the mutant powers that suck. I mean, there's a guy named Skin whose power is he has an ass load of skin.
Yeah, there's guys named Maggot who, his stomach, just pops off and turns into these giant slugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of the low hanging fruit.
I'll just give you any random Morlock power. But if we're talking
Oh, yeah.
irony, I guess, a superpower. You get most superpowers without super durability. I'd assume that super durability was inherent in super strength, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I assume you can survive your own power. That's the rule I generally play
But
by. Whatever that comes with.
But then again, super speed, even with durability, it's just you're gonna be a menace, a nuisance, and probably dead pretty quickly. It's like the human brain can't keep up with that.
And you'll leave women everywhere unsatisfied.
Well, that seems to be their problem, right? But yeah, most people can't even handle going above the speed limit. I get nervous if I go above the speed limit in a car. So if I can suddenly run at the speed of sound, there's no way I'm keeping up with that.
Imagine all the bugs in your face.
That too, yeah.
Getting pelted by stink bugs at 600 miles an hour.
I'm just thinking of the night that I was driving home from Mount Rainier, and we drove through a swarm of moths, and there was so much dead moths on the windshield that we had to stop at a gas station because the windshield was just covered in goop. And that at 50, that at 60 miles an hour sucked. I imagine doing that at 600 miles an hour, you'd be shitting moths for months.
Yeah, you'd never have to eat again.
Yeah, but at the same time, think about it. You'd be first in line for every Black Friday sale. Yeah, motherfucker, I got the last PS5.
Yeah, and most people aren't again, like Drew says, you're an office worker, you're not fighting crime. All you're going to do is lead your very mundane existence a lot more quickly. So you just got to spend a lot more time.
You wouldn't get anywhere for Black Friday sales because those assholes are staying in the line for days.
Yeah, you'd use your super speed to reach the queue.
The reality is, if that's the case, I'm using my super speed to just steal that shit when the second they unlock the door.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, super speed, if you can't turn it off, kind of sucks in theory, too, because then the world is moving an inch an hour for you, and that would just be hell.
Yeah, that'd get boring quickly.
Every TV show is the extended version of Lord of the Rings.
You're watching everything on fast forward.
All right, our friend Heinous Lizard asks, you have to give a presentation at an elementary school, but you get to pick the topic. What would it be?
Swords. Are you kidding me? Doing sword demonstrations in front of a bunch of elementary kids? They'd fucking love it.
Yeah, mine would be swords as well, except I don't know anything about them. I'm just a guy in their classroom with a sword.
I think mine would be a presentation on the dangers of inviting people like the Authors and Dragons crew to come speak to classrooms.
All right, kids. When you're old enough to make policy decisions, don't let people do this.
These are all the reasons your teacher made a mistake today.
You can't always trust grown-ups, kids.
I would do a physics demonstration, and one of those. You got to build a contraption to drop an egg and have it not break.
Rube Goldberg.
No, but it wouldn't be that complicated. You're just all right.
Like the egg drop thing.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay, yeah.
You just, all right. I want to see it. Throw it as hard as you can, but if you give it the right spin, it's not going to break. And all right, try it. That's
Just
it.
kids breaking eggs for, I don't know, 40 minutes.
No, like everybody's smashing eggs all over the classroom. It's hilarious.
I'd be all like, hey kids, and welcome to the discussion what mommy and daddy do after you go to bed. You know, your introduction to sex with your buddy Rick.
Wow.
I don't know, there's got to be some punctuation there. There's got to be some serious punctuation.
I feel like, yeah, you're gonna need some commas in there, bud.
I
feel like my
no,
presentation would definitely be at the end of the day.
No, me
just,
giving the presentation, you dumb fucks.
just videos of all of your presentations.
These are elementary school children, Rick. They might not understand. Drew, it's probably best if you went first. With the whole...
I think you all are the object examples I need to use, though. They're not going to believe me. They have to feel it. They have to see it. They have to hear Rick say that terrible turn of phrase. All right, you want to do one more from the Discord?
Sure. Nah, I don't think we want to do that one.
What is it? Is it Introduction to Sex with Your Uncle Rick?
If you could reboot any TV show, what would it be?
Ooh.
There's also a double-edged sword because, like, we've seen that wish get granted with, like, Arrested Development, and they don't always come back right.
Yeah.
Sometimes dead is better.
I would reboot I think it was an ABC series Kings. It was a very short-lived TV show from the early 2000s. Well, they only got one season, and it was a modern retelling of the Book of David, but with a shit ton of political maneuvering, and their treatment of religion was really bizarre and kind of primal. It was just a very good show. Plus, it had Ian McShane in it as a king, and as like a modern king politician, and that was just fucking brilliant. I'd bring Ian McShane back.
I don't really like reboots, but I would probably do like Watch the World Burn reboot, kind of give like the Bel Air treatment, but to Night Court. Bring it back as like, you know, a serious courtroom drama.
Oh, fuck you. I love Night Court so much.
Oh, me too.
That would infuriate me. I would be roaring mad that like we got Night Court back, but it was shitty. Oh god. Okay. So I have a joke answer and a real answer. My joke one, I don't know, maybe it's half joke, is Big Wolf on Campus. Which was a supernatural sort of comedy in the time when we had a shitload of Buffy clones everywhere. And it was about a dude who was a werewolf, and they had no budget. So
I always admired
a
it
lot
for
of.
that. I always found it charming. It's like, all right, Buffy's big. You guys do the same with $50.
Yeah, and but a lot of the monsters like had to be really like jerry-rigged together with what they could make. So it ended up making it kind of funny and interesting just because they had to do their own lore for budgetary reasons. And I don't know, I think it'd be funny to bring it back. But really, my real one would be definitely Wonder Falls, a Brian Fuller show, the guy who did Pushing Daisies. Had one season, was really good, has a strong capacity to reboot, and is probably one of his only shows that I think people just don't realize exists, even though almost everything else he's touched is acclaimed.
I don't know. I think I'd like to bring back the early 90s British game show Nightmare, where children would basically come to play a version of D&D, but their friend would be on this virtual game board who couldn't see, and they'd have to direct him. And just so many children died, and it was good. I think it taught people, again, valuable life lessons.
I'm going to assume you mean their characters or their avatars?
I don't know, honestly, Drew. The people that died, you didn't see them again. Like, if they won, they were kind of like you saw them waving at the end, and their friend who had been in this helmet for, about a full season. I assume, I don't know, if they may have fed him, but starving to death was one way you could go. So, presumably they lived.
I'm really curious about this now.
Yeah.
Just look up Nightmare, spelt Night KN, and ooh nasty, which was the catchphrase the Dungeon Master had when one of the children died. But I'd bring it back. I'd make it more realistic. If we're allowed to kill children, I guess I'd keep that in. if, you know,
8 seasons. My God.
if the world's gone too PC now and the children have to live, I guess we just use special effects. But yeah, I was entranced with that show when I was a kid. I'd bring it back.
I'll go with Pee-wee's Playhouse, except like the dark and gritty version where everybody's old and all the furniture's falling apart, and I don't know,
You could set a pretty good, creepy, Twin Peaks style supernatural noir thing in an old Pee-wee's Playhouse.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, but it's still like kind of like, I mean, like Shingles, ostensibly for kids, but not at all. Where like they'd have to. Oh, we got one last chance to save the Playhouse, or something. And I don't know.
Welcome to Pee-wee's Meth Lab.
Jesus.
That's all I got so far. I just thought of this.
It's going to be some horrible project you enact in the near future, isn't it?
Well,
That does tend to be the way these go. On the subject of shows that ostensibly killed people, did y'all ever watch Who Done It?
No.
No.
It was basically a murder mystery reality show where one person among them was the killer, and everyone else was trying to figure out who it was before they got killed by losing a game. And they did these really cool, like, ostentatious deaths where, like, a dude got set on fire and, like, leapt into the pool. And so many people, like, were tweeting and, like, phoning in, thinking these people had actually been killed on camera, that they had to start adding a segment around, like, episode 3 of, like, interviewing the dead one and, like, talking about how they'd done their stunt and, like, showing them go through it just because people legitimately thought they were getting murdered on TV.
We used to have a game show called, again, a game show for children called It's Torture, where basically they just murder kids in interesting ways. They'd had them in like in a drowning tank and getting dragged under a big rolling, grinding stone. It's like, if you get the questions, you got 3 questions, and if you get them wrong, you're dragged completely under the grinding stone. But every question you get wrong, you were dragged further under it. So presumably even the children that won the game show were horribly maimed. But...
And American television is too violent?
It's only real violence if it's happening to grown people who are real people. Children were barely considered people back then.
The industrial age.
Yeah, we never really got out of that mindset.
All right, well, why don't we get out of the Discord mindset and mosey on over to the Facebook, where Joe has been gardening and collecting and nurturing the greatest of questions, just waiting for him to bloom.
All right, so our friend Fuck You Mark asks, which of the party's members, including Drew's popular NPCs, do you want to see have a Klaus Silas body sharing moment?
Ugh.
I would like Bjorg to share a body with Judge Hungry. They would probably get along too well, but...
Quite a useful partnership.
I feel like Brandon having to share a body with Mr. Hister would be funny, both because, obviously... We all hate Mr. Hister. Well, you all hate him. I love him. But also because Mr. Hister is very flashy, and I feel like begrudgingly Brandon would slowly learn to admire that.
Oh, I think it would be much better if Brandon shared a body with Fandango.
Oh, no. Very opposed ideologies there. What was the name of Gunfer's brother? Bunfer. Make him share a body with his dad who doesn't love him.
What was that again?
Bunfer. Actually, they were both rejected by their wizard father, weren't they? But Bunfer took it personally, while Gunfer just turned to drugs. Yeah, Bunfer and Gunfer can both share the body of their negligent asshole dad.
Yeah, really most of that was on the dad.
Yeah.
That guy was overall kind of a dick.
It's a punishment for all of them. I guess that's just maximum damage.
Oh, next question, I guess. Okay, let's see here. Our friend Crystal asks, where would you like to go on vacation and who would you take with you?
Oh, did we answer this one?
Let's twist that around to say if we all had to go, if you had to take the A&D crew on vacation.
Oh boy.
I mean, the answer is going to be friends and family for all of us, but if you had to take the A&D crew on vacation, I mean, I've said Disney World like so many times, it kind of feels like a running joke at this point. So I'm going to say Hawaii, motherfuckers. I've also just always wanted to go to Hawaii, and this seems like an excellent excuse.
Let's go to Amsterdam.
I mean, you're not going to get any fucking fight from me on that one.
Amsterdam.
I mean,
we could go to the beer church.
Hell yeah.
I mean, in the middle, Thailand. It's like Amsterdam meets Hawaii.
Oh, damn.
Did they put out a
And
brochure?
cheap beer.
Yeah, cheap beer and sunshine is basically what I envision a holiday to be.
Yeah, me too.
I've never been to Jamaica, but my dad went a few times when I was younger, and truly talks about the place as if it is heaven itself.
I would love to. I saw the movie In Bruges, and I know the takeaway was supposed to be that Bruges isn't that good, but I thought it looked utterly charming. I'd like to just any kind of classic, old-timey European city, just walking around with a bunch of huge Americans.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what we'd be good for.
Just like, let's go to the tiniest bar I can find.
Just like I'm in the stables.
I think I would like to see A&D does Carnival.
Ooh.
That'd be fun. A&D Mardi Gras would be fun. Just head down to New Orleans.
I don't know. It seems like a good way for me to die.
I was like, that one is probably the most actually doable of all the ones we've mentioned, and the one we should probably not do the most.
The final A&D con.
I have a friend. I have a friend of the family who has a house on the parade route.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, sorted.
Probably have some family.
I guess this is how we go, guys. I mean, I always knew I was going to die at Mardi Gras. That's the thing they whisper over every child born in Louisiana.
That's what the evil queen said when she stormed into the hospital you were being birthed at.
I mean, again, she does it for every child. This child has to die at Mardi Gras. I mean, she's usually right. That's the other thing.
Our friend Greg asks, if you could get the rights free of charge to borrow one character from any form of media for your next book, who would it be?
Ooh, a really profitable one.
I'm doing something with Nightwing. I don't know what, but I'm doing something.
I don't know. I think I've already said before that I'd be far too tempted to ruin anything that was given to me, and I don't think I should be in charge of covering anything I actually enjoy and like and respect. So to that end, is Nicolas Cage a character?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is a character.
Yeah, according to his newest movie.
Yeah. If you get to the stage where you play yourself in a movie about what a ridiculous character you are, you're a character. So I guess just any story I wrote, if I just put Nicolas Cage in there, it's going to be a lot more fun for everyone. And I only have to take him exactly as seriously as he takes himself. So
I'm thinking the same thing, but with Stephen King as a character in his books, The Dark Tower. Like I would do like a parody of that in like every future book I write. Just him getting mauled by vans over and over again.
Jesus!
I don't know. I think I would try to piss off the most amount of people possible, so I would grab Anakin Skywalker.
That sounds like it'd be painful, Rick, for you.
And also, if it was the most amount of people possible, shouldn't it be Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, God.
Yeah, but that would annoy me. I could have fun with Anakin. It's like, just walking down the street with my character. It's like, hey, look, there's an orphanage, and you got a lightsaber.
I could take the character of, was it Bella from Twilight? Because then it's carte blanche to kind of write really badly.
I love thinking of fun things. He's like, all right, I can really phone this one in.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I'm doing this from Bella's perspective. Ergo, I can just write like shit for the next 120 pages.
It's pragmatic. You gotta give it to him. Oh man, I've said before many times that I would always wanted to take a crack at writing Superman. I don't know that I'd want to borrow him for a book world. That feels like a lot more pressure to throw on there. So I don't know. Who doesn't matter as much? Oh, it might be fun to fuck around with Booster Gold. I could have some fun with Booster Gold. And honestly, I know he has some fans, but people aren't going to care that much.
Yeah.
But he's a very fun character, like within the DC world. Like there's There's just a lot of interesting things you can do with a dude whose whole motivation is, well, my life sucks. I'm going to leap back in time with technology and be a superhero.
That is good. It feels like he should be a much more popular character than he is, because I always liked that aspect about him.
Yeah, he's honestly one of the most relatable superheroes in all of existence. Because, I mean, we've all joked around like, oh, if I could go back in time with my iPhone. He just did it.
Yeah, he didn't joke about it. He made it a reality. He made it happen.
All right. Okay, so our friend Melanie asks, will we see a third issue of our favorite comic book, Chronicles of Calamity?
Oh, definitely. If you've been in the Discord, you've already read 18 pages of that. If you're a patron, I believe at any level, you can access the comic book pages as and when they're completed. Now, obviously, before we go with a crowdfunder to get them physically out into the world so you can hold a physical copy in your hands like a real comic book, they do get a little bit revised. That takes some time. I think we'll definitely be launching issue 3 this year. I don't have a specific timeline on it yet. There is about 4 or 5 pages more to do, and then there's a complete comic book story, which issue 3 also, and people on the Discord will already know this because they're special and good and they give us money, introduces Brandon Fiemaster, finally. So it's a fun one. I'm looking forward to launching this one.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Authors and Dragons. We will be back next week with a side quest, and then again in 2 weeks with more of the adventure you have been listening to. Until then, bye.
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 Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
I would like to lighten my load into his mouth.